Okay, so for the next video, we'll just open the input and output project. So it's pretty much just one robot and one tool that is attached to no 3D model. So that's very, very simple. We'll go ahead and create a simple program here with 3 targets. So just like that, create a small triangle and then create program. And let's have that as a linear program. Okay, perfect. So let's say that you want to activate a given output when you reach target 2. So what you can do is go on target 2 here, right click, add instruction, and you have set or wait IO instruction. You have the same option right here that you can press. It will bring a set IO here. So by default, it will bring set IO 5 equal 1. So it's a set of a digital output. You can click modify. It will bring that here. You have the option to either set digital output, set analog output, or wait for digital input. So if you select set digital output, you can give it a name, so either a number or a name. That will depend on how your robot controller behaves or what your robot controller expects for input and output. So that's the first thing. Then you will need to enter a value, so most likely 1 or 0, so true or false. If you set an analog output, you need to give it a name or a number depending on, again, on your robot controller. Then you will give it the analogic value you want to transfer. So that's it. And then you have your wait for digital output, where you're going to give a name or a value, a number, and you'll give a value, so 0 or 1. You're waiting for the given output to reach a given value, and you can enter a timeout if you don't want to wait forever for that input to be triggered. So if you go to set digital output 1, let's say like that, and let's add another one here to set digital output, I don't know, we're gonna give it a name, so just var, I don't know, output conveyor, just to give it a very specific name. Click OK. And now if I run that, it will go through the point. It won't do anything specific here, but if you right click the station here and select station parameters, you will see here Rob1 and Rob2, you can remove. This was part of another example that we will see in the next video. But you will have like IO5 here, value 1, output conveyor here, value 1. So those values will be transferred, and you'll be able to see here the active IOs or analog output and look at the value they currently have. Yeah, that's pretty much it. You can, I'm gonna make a little test here though, real quick. So instead of using a set IO, I'm gonna go to a wait, modify, I'm gonna wait digital IO 5 to reach 0, let's say. I'm gonna write station parameters, I'm gonna make sure that this is at 1. I want to remove and then remove, click OK. So now if I run that here, it will get stuck here waiting for IO5 to reach 0. I don't know, I'm trying to see here if I can just make that 0, and yeah, if I make that 0, it will go through. So I can switch them from there and make the IOs appearing. So we're discussing right now to be able to have potentially a panel here where you can see the IOs values and just like activate and deactivate them as you wish, but it's not built yet. So that's the first thing for how IO works. Fairly simple. You just add IO input, output, or input wait, set digital output, or set analog output. Then in the next video, we'll see how we can use that to kind of synchronize different robots together. If you have more than one robot in a station and you want to synchronize stuff, you can kind of do a handshake. You can use a handshake process to make sure that two robots will kind of wait for one another before doing the next motion, which is important. I oftentimes do that also with my conveyors and my robots, so that I'm sure that, let's say, the conveyor finish its movement before the robot come picking the box, let's say. Otherwise, if it's kind of very tight in terms of timing and potentially the conveyor do not finish its motion, the box will be picked weirdly and therefore dropped weirdly. So I'm using that to kind of synchronize everything, and even if I go to 100 times the speed, I'm sure that the sync will keep the boxes, let's say, picked properly. Yeah, so we'll cover that in the next video.